everybody. Welcome back to Eternal Midnight. I'm Chad, and I am here talking with Santino. What's up?
What's up, guys? And it's we're still in October month, Halloween month. So, Chad, tell me, what are we continuing to do?
Well, we're gonna be last episode we discussed how Alice became the Dream Master and seemingly found a way to defeat Freddy for good. But it looks like Mr. Freddy found a loophole to return in A Nightmare on Elm Street 5 of the Dream Child. Santino, what was your thoughts on this one?
I actually like it more than the fourth one.
No shit. I think you are the first person who's ever said that. Go on, go ahead. What's up?
Okay,
Because I
so
like this movie. I've never. I like the fourth one better, but that's awesome. What did you like better about this one than four?
I like Alice way more here than in um the. I like Alice way more here than in the fourth one, which is the Dream Master, because now it's like she has definitely more character development. And looking back on it, I do think that maybe it was because in the Dream Master, we were seeing like how do I put this? We were seeing still the kids from the third one, but now it's like this is really her story, and I think I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that more. And she has a, I mean, her having a kid is one of the better like aspects of it, because she grows to care for this child. At first she doesn't like it, but then she likes it. So I really think it's a better like way of being. How do I put this? I think it's a better way of being.
Of showing off this character.
Yes, they're showcasing this character.
Fair enough, because for me, it's like I liked seeing the progression from the silent little mousy girl to the badass at the end of the Dream Master, and then in this one, we've like got fully fleshed out Alice, like being the badass lead all the way through. And it's funny because this is the movie that a lot of people say they're just like, I really don't like this one. And I genuinely don't get why. I'd say, aside from a few of Freddy's like already over the top puns, which get worse in the next one, I still say that this one does a good job with the story they're telling with Freddy and Alice. I mean, like we said, he was defeated at the end of the last one. All of the children's souls left him, and his body just he went to hell basically. But in this, he's found like this small loophole using Alice's baby to use that child now to get to the other kids, which it's like he's like found the one loophole, and then like she's got to team up with Amanda to find a way to send him to hell for good. And I don't get what people don't like about this one. I
I
mean,
get
I like a couple of the others better, but I've seen like some people literally be like, aside from the remake, they're like, this is the worst one.
I actually like it because it really is a progression of character more of Alice here than in the last one, and I like her more. I mean, like, I still think Nancy's the best one, but this wasn't a. It was Nancy, right? Nancy Thompson.
Yep.
Yeah, but this still was a great like a great character. I mean, like, now the Dream Child has convinced you, like, oh, okay, so Alice is a good character now. I mean, like, I really wasn't really convinced uh, in the fourth one, but now it's like, okay, I see you, I get it. It's better now, and
Mm-hmm.
and I know it's an unpopular opinion, but like, yeah,
What?
yeah, and I know it's an
That you
unpopular.
like it?
No. That I think it's better than the fourth.
Yeah. Hey, that's a like I said, haven't seen anyone say it, but it's always good when someone has like an underrated opinion on something and can actually back up why.
I guess it's like how do I say this? I guess it's like for me, I really when I watch movies, I really resonate with the characters the most more than the action or the action or the storyline or the mythos. It's the characters, the progression. What is the progression of the character? and I saw more progression here of Alice than in the last one. So
Wow. Okay.
That's just
So
my
now,
opinion.
so now this movie is it's funny because this movie probably has the first character in this series so far that I like legitimately do not like.
Oh, who?
Yvonne.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't.
My God. How can you sit and say Alice is lying and making all this shit up? All her friends from the last movie, including her brother, were wiped out.
Yeah,
Does she just have like no memory of all those kids suddenly being killed?
yeah, exactly. I don't like.
And she just yells and bitches way too much in this movie. Like what? Like why did she get to live and Mark had to die? Why couldn't Mark have lived?
Yeah,
Mark was way more of a likable character than her.
Mark was way cooler, dude.
And I'll give it, that's one thing that this series continually to me seems to do a good job with. Almost every character that dies in this series, I really like and did not want to die. Like, obviously, we didn't want Dan to die.
Right.
Greta, they could have portrayed Greta kind of like Melissa from Friday the 13th Part 7.
Right.
But instead, she was like the nicest hot girl in the world. And she got killed pretty brutally. Mark got hacked to fucking pieces. And it's like, geez, I felt bad for all three of them.
Yeah, exactly. But then, like, the least likable character, Yvonne, is like lives.
It's like, why? I mean, again, it gets worse in the next one, but it's like, why did she get to live? Of all the characters, why her?
I have no idea.
Oh, let me think. I guess aside from what I've already said about almost like just like some of the plot of it, like that, Freddy finding the loophole to get back out.
And I like how he died, like supposedly the final time, like he died. It's like his mom like grabs him and then he just disappears.
Well, his mom basically like, how to phrase it? Like you saw when Yvonne found her, Yvonne basically laid Amanda's body to rest.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that doesn't.
Amanda kind of like sacrificed herself going to heaven to take Freddy back to hell because she was the only one who could do it at that point.
Yeah, that was a nice like sacrifice move, and he should have stayed dead. And I don't like what they did in the sixth movie at all.
That's why I'm saying it's like this. It's like what happened here. Almost, it was like 4 was the logical final death, and this one was like he found the loophole, but then they closed that loophole. So it's like the story really was over if you think about it in this one. Like the story was
Yeah.
So it's like I guess 5 that was quick because there's not much. I like 5. Yeah, I like 5.
Yeah, there's not much to say.
No, there was a lot more I feel to say about 4 and previous, but yeah, let's. Oh boy, let's go to the next one. Oh Christ,
I fucking hate like
this. I go ahead, just go.
The lore is destroyed from the very like people disappearing after they die. It's like, wow, what the fuck, where did that come from?
From the opening credits, Freddy. So after what happened in 4 and 5, Freddy comes back and just wipes out the whole town.
Yeah,
every single kid now.
Yeah,
no explanation. I mean, dude, again, no explanation. I mean, you know what? This must have been where JJ got his inspiration for how to bring back Palpatine.
Yeah,
just do it. Nobody will give a damn.
Somehow, Freddy killed every single kid.
Like, how did he come back after part 5? He just did. Okay. And it's all downhill from there because this movie is shit.
It's a really shitty thing. It's like no consistency for story. Like no consistency for like characters or plot. Freddy's a joke. He really is. He's not even scary in this one. Like, he's not scary. He's wacky. He's just basically a bully.
like that scene where like Carlos has his earpiece gone and he can't hear anything, and Freddy's like jumping around behind him, screaming and making noises because it's like, haha, he can't hear me. And it's like, what happened to the Freddy Krueger who was like stalking Tina through the halls of the boiler room in her nightmare?
Yeah.
Where did that character go?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So, did you like any character in this film?
Nah, I didn't like. I didn't like Freddy's daughter. I didn't like
She
the
was a
main.
bitch.
I didn't like the main John Doe. None of the side characters were interesting. They were all forgettable, legit. And here's how I know they're forgettable. You know why? Because I just saw this movie yesterday. It's not even 24 hours, and I can't remember any of the characters' names.
I'd say probably the only decent thing in this film was the Johnny Depp cameo.
That was cool, yeah.
But aside from that, yeah, just
It's not good. You know
no.
how I like. Well, I know there's like every horror movie, like the big three, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween. There's always a really bad one at the very end of the franchise. It's always a really shitty one. Like in Halloween, it was Rob Zombie's Halloween. In Friday the 13th, it was Part 9. And in Nightmare on Elm Street, it's this. It's a really shitty, like, it's a really shitty
garbage. I don't understand. Like, how do you plan to make this the last one? And your way of killing him is literally just repeating what you've already done.
It's just a rehash of all the previous movies. Like I noticed, like, there are moments where I was like, oh, you got this from this one, you got this from that one. It's like it's nothing new. It's like it really felt like a cash grab.
And it's sad because they planned on this being the end, and it's like you look at so many other movies that like plan themselves as the end. I mean, we know it wasn't the end, but it was like the end of an era. I mean, look at Endgame. There's tons of people who love that. I know you like it way more than I do, but it's like, would you say that was a satisfying ending?
For
that era, we'll go with.
For that era, yeah. I mean, like for the Infinity Saga, yes. And well, in fairness, the whole Infinity Saga really revolved around Captain America and Iron Man's story. So yeah, I say at least Iron Man and Captain America got like very great conclusions for that story.
It's like other franchises, like the Godzilla franchise, which you haven't seen it yet, but Godzilla versus Destroya. They planned on that being the last one, and that went out on like an absolutely amazing note with like the best way to end things ever. Or we'll just even use adaptations. Return of the King, a perfect finale.
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Deathly Hallows Part 2, another awesome finale. And it's like, I know those were based on books, but it's like they were still written as a good finale.
Yeah.
And then we get this, and it's like,
it feels so
this, pull Freddy out, and then call him an asshole and stick a pipe bomb in his mouth.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's it.
And the final shot is like the girl saying Freddy's dead. And that
was horrible.
It's like not even like fun bad. It's like
it's stupid. This movie is just the epitome of stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Like all these characters were forgettable. Like I could not resonate with this thing one. Literally, the main guy before he got killed was John Doe. That is his name. I was like, then how can I even relate to you if you don't even have a fucking name, dude?
And it's like, I think I said it when we were talking about Part 5. It's like, at least almost every movie I like, almost every character that got killed, I could care less about anyone who died in this film. And the character I hated the most of whatever that chick's name was, the one blonde-haired chick who was like got anger issues, I wanted her to die, and she didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there was no development for anyone, and it's like the whole thing with the main chick being Freddy's daughter, and they're trying to make it a mystery. It's like, no, you already spoiled it because we saw Robert Englund playing with a girl at the beginning. We knew it wasn't John Doe.
Yeah, exactly.
We knew it was this random chick who runs the kids' home or whatever, who's a complete bitch. We knew it was her. Like, there was no mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like, what? How do you go from setting up like 3, 4, and 5 had a timeline? They were a progressive trilogy within this series.
And then in the last
how do
one,
you just
like
you just drop every single storyline, you drop every character, and you just give us this random bullshit and say that's it. It's like, what the hell were you thinking when you made this?
Like, if I'm being honest, New Nightmare was a better finale than this.
Even though that wasn't even like on the same level of like being a finale, it was still a better finale.
But even at least it made sense because like Freddy and okay, we'll get to New Nightmare, but like, you know what Freddy is in the New Nightmare? It's not really Freddy; it's some other thing, right? So at least that can be like the finale. It makes more sense. But here it's like, wow, you just went all out and like destroying all character continuity. Like, Alice is gone, no one's there. It's just these new characters.
It's these new characters that we don't know,
give a shit
we
about.
don't like. The deaths were not that. I mean, okay, Carlos's death was interesting, but it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like you said, Freddy is not scary. I guess the only thing we'll give it is, I think I said it in last week's episode, it's like at least in every movie they do something that like shows us another little aspect of Fred Krueger's background, which I don't like the dream demon thing. I think it's really stupid. But it's like the thing about his family, I guess, was kind of interesting. But they just fucked that up too, though. So it's like, good idea, wretched execution.
It's really a bad like finale. Like, if this was meant to be the finale, what a joke, honestly. Like, it's horrible. It's like, I never want to watch this again. It's not even like It's not even like fun to watch. Like, as like a, it's like, oh, so bad it's good. It's like, not even so bad that it's good. It's horrible. It's not funny. It's not scary. Freddy's a joke, and all the characters are forgettable. It's like, what is there to latch on? What is there to latch onto?
Nothing. And that's why, like, out of all, it's weird. It's like, out of Nightmare, Halloween, and Friday the 13th, it's like, this is another one where it's like, this movie sinks below every single Friday the 13th film.
Yeah.
Like, I still think I'd rather watch this before I ever watch either of the Rob Zombie Halloweens again. But it's like, when it gets to that kind of choice, it's like, I don't get the option to watch anything else because I don't want to watch either of them ever again.
Yeah, it's really like horrible. I don't like it. I find it so I hate to use this word. I find it so disgusting. It's like the incompetence of these writers who thought that being like, oh, we're gonna erase everything from the original 5 movies, and you guys are still gonna like it. No, you knew that they were gonna hate it, dude.
That's why you slapped Freddy's Dead on the title.
Yeah.
It's
nothing. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, it's really horrible.
And I think this was supposed to, I think the idea, what I'm about to tell you, I don't remember if this was supposed to be 5 or 6. I'd have to rewatch the documentary, but this is why I encourage you at some point, watch the documentary. You're going to find this really interesting. So guess who pitched an idea at one point to New Line for a Nightmare on Elm Street film?
Who?
Peter Jackson.
No way.
And you know what his idea was?
What?
So that's why I think this was supposed to be 6. I think this was supposed to take place after 5. So Freddy is just so weak at this point, and nobody's afraid of him anymore. So kids start purposely going to sleep so they can go to the nightmares to torment Freddy because nobody's afraid of him. So he has no power, and nobody can even hurt him and he can't even hurt anybody anymore.
Okay.
And eventually somebody like hurts themselves and dies, and suddenly the fear starts building and Freddy starts getting stronger again.
Oh, that's
How much better of an idea would that have been?
That was way better than what we got.
In honesty, if I got that wrong, anybody listening, correct me down below. It's been a while since I watched the documentary. But yeah, Santino, look that up at some point. I remember hearing about it, and I'm like, you had that awesome idea, and you went with Freddy's Dead? Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
Why do we always hear about these good ideas that didn't happen, and when we got like pure shit instead?
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't. Do you have anything left to say on this one?
Nah. I really have nothing else to say. It's really just a bad film, and I have no interest in going back and looking at it. I really have no interest.
All right, so you know what? Let's not end this episode with
A bad note, yeah.
trash that's Freddy's Dead. Let's look at what you just described as a more proper finale, which was Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah.
So thoughts?
I really liked New Nightmare, actually. I really did, honestly.
A lot of people did.
Because it made sense, because the person who was coming back wasn't Freddy. It was basically a demon who how do I put this?
Took the form of Freddy.
Yeah, who took the form of Freddy, which is, I think, a really nice concept. It's a very nice, like, fourth wall Deadpool style movie with horror. And I like the fact that the actress played Nancy is back. It's really cool.
As Nancy, or as herself.
Or as herself. And I like the fact that, her dad even came back, and there were a lot of cameos. It felt like it was an homage. You know what I mean? It was an homage to the classic Nightmare on Elm Street stories, which I really thought was cool.
It was this much smarter film than like a slasher franchise like this after something like 5 and 6 almost deserved.
Oh yeah, I really think so, honestly.
But that's what happens when you have someone like, Wes Craven leading the way. You have a good quality filmmaker who, in my opinion, knows what he's doing. Wes had his ups and downs in his career, but you know what? I think Wes was the master of horror. And I mean, he made this right before he did Scream. So that tells you everything.
Yeah, it honestly felt like Wes Craven was saying goodbye to Freddy here. Like, this was really like a last, like, goodbye. Like, and I think, honestly, the reason why it's a better finale, because like you have Nancy back, you have the actors and actresses back, and like they're all playing like roles. Even Lynn Shay, like as the nurse, is like back. So like you have all these like nice stuff, and it's a perfect homage to say, okay, goodbye, Freddy. Like, here in the real world, you're not even affected. So like this should have been the end, honestly. Like if this was the last Nightmare on Elm Street.
In a way, it was the last Nightmare. It was the last of the original series, because Freddy versus Jason is really just a fan film.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, it has its top spot within the timeline, but it's almost like this was actually the end. It was. I mean, Freddy versus Jason is fun. We'll go over that again in the next episode, but it's like, yeah, it's like this one, it's like this was a smart way to end things, to just be like, you know what? Let's give the audience one more scare with Freddy, and let's do it right, even though it's not like the end, like the character of Freddy Krueger dies, because it takes place obviously outside of the movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, what did you think of actually seeing 3 versions of Robert Englund? You got to see Robert Englund, the actor, Robert Englund in the like goofy Freddy makeup like that day at like when they were at the TV studio.
Yeah.
And then you see the demon Freddy.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. It's like it felt like, at least Robert Englund, like I was happy that at least Robert Englund didn't like go out on Freddy's dead. Like he went out on that one, which was so much better, honestly.
You know what that also shows to me? That shows that Wes had actually gave a shit about this creation that he started. Like he allowed other people to do some shit with it for a few years, but then he was like, I'm gonna finish it up for you guys. Like I started it. I tried to help you end it once. You kept going. I'm gonna help you end it again. But then they still kept going. It
honestly felt like a proper finale.
Now, when it comes to child actors, I want to know which one did you find more annoying? Jacob from part 5 or Nancy or Heather's son in this one? I thought this kid was irritating as all hell.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, the one thing that bogs us down is the son.
Ooh. He's annoying as hell.
He is really like, wow.
He was really really annoying. Always screaming and just being an irritating brat of a child, basically.
Oh yeah, I did not like him. I did not like him at all.
No, and it's like I didn't mean that to come across as like I'm a child hater or anything, but it's like I just do not like annoying children in films. They're so irritating. They always bring movies down.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like it. I didn't like him. Like, no. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. He was horrible.
No.
I'm sure the kid, like, if there's any chance that this kid is listening, you're not a bad person, dude, but your acting needs to, like, fix itself.
Now, do you want to hear something hilarious that they did during the filming of this movie?
Yeah, what?
So again, this is on the documentary. Like, I'll find this part and I'll like send you the clip of it. It's the funniest shit in the world. So there was a scene where they needed to get the kid to cry. Do you know how they did it?
Oh my God, how did they do
it? They had the kid's mom leave the set, and then the kid's dad went up to him and said, "Your mother's dead."
What the fuck? He's not feel bad for saying that. That's how they did it? Dude.
I swear it's on the documentary. Wes Craven is the one who tells the story.
Wow, that's just bad. That's really
Isn't that horrible?
That's really, yeah, it is.
Your mother's dead.
It's not cool.
You're like trying not to laugh, aren't you? Yeah, it's horrible. I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm sorry. Hey, if Wes Craven laughed about it, that means that there was no like permanent mental damage done to anybody. So
yeah, I'm glad. I hope the kid got out okay.
Well, they said like something like right afterwards, they were like, you know, if the kid did a good job that day, they'd like get him a Happy Meal or something. So he was fine with it. There's pictures of him and Robert Englund in makeup, like laughing and looking like they're having a good time.
All right, I hope so.
I hope so. He actually get this. The kid actually got to keep. He got to keep the Rex that had the slash marks in it.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's awesome.
I think they said he kept that one, and I think Wes Craven kept the one without the slash marks in it.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so let's see. So the kill there, you know what? There wasn't a lot of kills in this movie.
Yeah, they weren't really interesting ones.
There was the husband and the babysitter, I think, right? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, see, you know, it's like we've been doing a decent amount of praise for this movie, and I will give it. This movie, when it comes to quality, like, we haven't gotten this level of quality probably since the first one.
Yeah.
But it's like, and I'm not saying this is a bad movie for this reason, but it's like when I watch when I watch a movie that's part of a slasher franchise, I'd like a little bit more slashing in it. And it's like, I don't need an absolute like bloodbath to enjoy a horror film. I don't.
I understand that.
But it's like, I would like a little more killing in a horror film.
Yeah.
But I don't hold it against the film. I can't. That wouldn't be fair because this is a damn good movie.
It really is. It's a damn good movie.
So what was it about it that probably stood out the most to you? Was it just like whoever would have thought of an idea like this? Like just the originality of it?
I think it was a unique concept of having it take place in like a quote unquote real world setting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like how do I put this? It wasn't like a fake fictional world. Like this quote unquote took place in a real world setting.
Right, like this was the actual Los Angeles.
Which I think was awesome because like that's an awesome fourth wall break right there. I mean,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'm being honest. I mean, like, I think if you were gonna close off a horror franchise, this would have been the way to go, dude. Like, I love like the unique take on it, the unique spin on it. Like, it's this demon who's not really Freddy, just looks like him and acts like him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like nothing, and it's weird because it's like
it takes real
this movie.
It takes real balls to do that, you know. It's like, you know, having like a fourth wall break movie like Deadpool is honestly like a big risk. And now it's like, you know, you're doing it like that. And it's like, hey, at least you guys have balls to do that.
And it's weird because Friday the 13th tried to do something like that with the Final Friday, but look how that turned out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like sometimes, and that's why it's always funny whenever people are like, oh, you fans, just whenever they do something different, you hate it. And it's like, this did something different, and I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. It's really good. It was a really good story choice, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
like you said, better way to end things out. And I loved Freddy's new design.
Oh yeah, the trench coat. That was really good.
Trench coat, the new glove.
Yeah, the robotic glove.
I think the way they killed him was kind of lackluster.
It was okay. I didn't mind it.
It was better than a pipe bomb in the stomach.
Yeah.
And then his head blowing up and flying towards the scream and screaming.
Wow.
So yeah, New Nightmare. It definite quality. It was good that Wes came back. It has that nice...
and to me, this is like the final. To me, this is really the final Nightmare on Elm Street because number 6 doesn't really count because I don't count it at all. And Freddy versus Jason, which I know came after this, was just like a fan project.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really.
That was one of those like, this was the goodbye. This was Robert Englund's like goodbye to the character. And Freddy versus Jason was just like, dude, you've been wanting to fight the character of Freddy or the character of Jason. Come on, man. Let's do it. It's like, all right, why not?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we will get to that next week. And then we will talk the remake. So before we go, is there anything else to say about New Nightmare, Santino?
Nah, I'm good.
Good quality movie. Much better way to even end this episode than Freddy's Dead.
Yeah, dude. Thank God.
You never want to end an episode on a horrendously bad film because it just leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
I'm glad we had time to discuss this.
Absolutely. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Come back next week where we're talking, we'll do a quick recap of Freddy versus Jason. We'll talk the remake and we'll give you our rankings. So Thank you for listening. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.